Hello. Good morning here in the States anyway. Welcome to the stream. We'll get started here in a little bit, but in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat and I'll respond as best I can. Hey, Chris, good morning. Yeah, we'll get started here in a little bit. Just I always open up my live streams for a little chatting and question answering and that sort of stuff before we get started. So if you have any questions, feel free, let me know. And in the meantime, I will be trying to make sure that this stream goes as error-free as I can. This is the first time streaming this particular game title, so getting everything set up was a bit of a chore here before we started, but we'll see what we can do. And also, as we go, if you guys do have any issues with game volume or anything like that, or any stream issues, please let me know. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see if I can get it corrected. Like I say, the first live stream for a new video title is always needs some input from all of you to make sure we've got audio levels right and all of those sort of things. Especially with this one, there are some rather interesting volume settings here inside Starfield. First time you start it up, it always blows your eardrums out. So has everybody here played Bethesda games prior? So Fallout 76 or any of the Elder Scrolls series? Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim? If you have, that's kind of what you're going to be seeing today, is very similar types of gameplay mechanics and gameplay loops. If you haven't, it'll be a good intro to kind of those games, just with a space component as well. Yeah, I know all about animals waking you up. So my cats tend to do the same thing, and I'll be fighting them throughout the stream to keep them from trying to jump on top of my computer where it's nice and warm for them, but we'll see how it goes. Good, I'm glad the audio levels are okay. If it doesn't work, if they change as we go through the game, like I say, there are some fairly loud portions of the game. If it doesn't work, then let me know and we'll keep track of it. Welcome, Elite from Germany. Yeah. I was gonna say, you guys are getting close to the release there. I'm really happy to see that. I understand why studios do the different release times for different platforms, but I really wish that they'd just be able to release all of them at the same time. Hey, Dracula, welcome to the stream. And again, just to reiterate for everybody, if any issues show up with the stream or anything like that while we're going through this, please let me know. The first time streaming a new title can always be a little bit interesting, so So as you can see, I do not have any save games here. So I will be starting this just like all of you. So we'll be going through a new playthrough together here. So once this is done, then I will start a personal playthrough that's separate that I'll be playing on my own off stream. But for now, we'll go through it and experience it all together. You're gonna see how to do it right. I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, like I say, we'll be experiencing it together for the first time, and the way that I play, well, I have a lot of experience in Skyrim. I was never interested in Fallout 76. So that this is probably, from what I understand, based upon the comments, there's probably more parallels to Fallout 76 than there are to Skyrim. But I'm expecting very similar playthrough styles. My playthrough style is really based upon Skyrim. So, and better have both stars and a field. Yeah, I would expect that there is a space component. So if we don't get it, Matt, I'm gonna be a little upset as well. But yeah, like I say, I'm playing this the first time with you guys. I've held to my mantra of never play on release day, and of course never play on patch day. I did do the download. I pre-downloaded it, and then obviously saw that there was a day one patch, which there always is in today's world when it comes to video games. So got all of that set up, but yeah, I have not played it. So anxious to go through it and see what it's like. So my style, like I say, is going to be based off of Skyrim, and everyone who has any experience with that understands, you know, what the most powerful type of gameplay was. So we'll be talking about that as we go through our character creation and that sort of stuff, and see if it holds true in this one or not. Yeah, welcome to the stream, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, Big Lou, and that's a very good point, and that's something that I struggled with when I was initially dealing with the release of Starfield, was how much of an FPS game was this going to be? I really enjoyed Skyrim, and Skyrim has a lot of FPS type of encounters in it. However, my playstyle has always been a little bit different from those. I am not the guy. If you were expecting the Call of Duty run around and gun everything and clear everything out in 30 seconds type of gameplay, that is not what you're going to see here. That is not how I have ever approached my previous Skyrim playthroughs and that sort of stuff, and I'm hoping that it's the same thing here. I'll be really anxious to see how the encounter and combat mechanics work in Starfield compared to what I was previously used to in other games. I hope I'm just swapping a bow for a firearm of some sort, and my playstyle can remain fairly much the same, but we'll see. But yeah, if you're expecting a whole lot of run around and gun everything down, high tempo first person shooter stuff, you're not going to see it here, Lou. It's not something that I focus on anymore. I did a lot when I was younger, but yeah, not so much now. Now it's more about exploring, making sure I've found everything. I'm taking my time going through dungeons and approaching combat from ways that are going to benefit me, instead of just running in, gunning everything down, swapping down some healing potions or some medical kits or whatever's going to be in this game and moving on. That's not really how I play. Yeah. Yeah, I've always been sci-fi oriented. And if you've watched some of the trailers, you see there are some things that are fairly superpower-like once you get your skills leveled up to certain places. So the way like I say, the way I look at this is kind of like the same thing that I was dealing, hopefully, because like I say, I haven't played it yet, but hopefully the same things I was looking at in Skyrim, just with a science fiction setting for me, which I'm going to be really anxious to explore. I played hundreds and hundreds, possibly thousands of hours in the Elder Scrolls games between Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. So I'm really anxious to see if there's any parallels here that will keep me going in the game. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and it will drop off. But I certainly owe it to the game to give it a play here, and if I can have you guys come along in the stream, that's all the better. Well, YouTube says my stream is healthy here, but the live preview window is not displaying, it's buffering, so I'm assuming that the stream is still there. If it is not, please let me know and I will I'll restart it. But just on exploring the first planet I jumped to, yeah, we'll see if that happens here, Dracula. We really will. So we'll go ahead and get ready to get started here. Welcome everyone to today's live stream, episode number 1 of our Starfield gameplay series. I'm Commander Jarval, and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So, from some admin notes, just be aware that this is the first live stream for a new title. So, getting all of the streaming configurations set up and working for a new game is always a bit of a hassle. So, if there are any issues going through the stream today, please let me know in chat, and I'll see if I can get them corrected. One of the big things is also volume levels. This game, when I started it up, had some really high volume, and I had to go through some settings and turn that down a little bit. So as we go through here, if the volume is either too low or too high, please let me know, and I'll adjust it, and we'll get things kind of set for the new game here. On that note, also, like I said during the chatting section, my YouTube is showing that the stream is healthy and everything seems to be going okay, but my preview window is not showing on YouTube, and I don't want to shut the stream down and restart it. So just because of that. So if something does happen with the stream, if it goes off or has any buffering issues or anything like that, please do let me know, and I'll see if I can get it corrected here. So I think that's going to be it for the admin notes. We don't have a recap today, but we'll just start with an intro. So, welcome everyone to Starfield. Starfield is one of the most anticipated game releases of this summer. In addition to my other live streams that a lot of you are venturing here from, was Baldur's Gate 3. Starfield is put out by Bethesda. Bethesda has obviously put out some very high-name Game of the Year award-winning titles in the past, with all of the Elder Scrolls series, and with the main ones that everyone's familiar with being Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim being the latest that they just released a remastered version of, and Fallout 76, Fallout Vegas, those type of games. So if you're familiar with those games, my assumption here is that we're going to be in for some very familiar gameplay loops and mechanics. However, as you can see from my start screen, there is no load option. This is my first time playing this game here. When it came out, I always subscribed to the never play on release day, and the corollary to that, never play on patch day. So the game has been fully patched, downloaded, fully patched, and is ready to go, but I have not played, so this will be the first time playing through it with all of you being able to watch, and we'll see how it goes. So I'll be anxious to see the parallels that are here with other Bethesda games as we go. So I think that's enough of me talking, so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Settings, like I say, I've adjusted my video settings and my volumes in here as best I can. But as we go through, if we need to adjust some keybinds or something like that, then we will. I've kind of set things up as best I think I can with my settings, but there may need to be some adjustments as we go. But we'll go ahead and jump right in, and like I say, let me know if we have any changes that need to be made with volumes and that sort of thing. Okay, so you instantly get some Skyrim vibes here.
Seals are good. Oxygen's good. Just do what you did last time, and you're fine. Follow my one simple rule. Hella, what's my one simple rule?
Listen to Lynn. Boss lady knows best.
Exactly. Listen to me. Mining's just like any other job. Go steady, go safe, go home with a pocket full of credits at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally. It's just like, I work in the Stardock, except with more cave-ins, lasers, and accidental dismemberment.
Very helpful. Thank you.
You're gonna be fine. Your first outing was solid. And, let's be honest, it ain't exactly astrophysics.
That's why I keep him around. Good pep talks.
Yeah, and the fact that I can pinpoint a helium deposit from 300 meters.
Not untrue. A shame we won't find any down here. But the metal deposits alone should pay for our own helium. Hell, after this, we'll have enough jump fuel to bounce from one end of the settled systems to the next.
Hey, more minerals, more money. And so the cycle repeats itself. Just no more unauthorized jumps in the house for room space, okay?
He's just a big baby. There are worse lives. You know, most Dusties don't even make it this far. I have a good feeling about you.
Group hug now or at the end of the shift?
One of these days, Hella, I am going to leave you behind.
Promises, promises.
Dusties, huh? That makes sense for space miners.
Okay, let's see what we've got. How are we on time?
A little longer. Grab some samples?
Always. But not you. Check on Isabel. Make sure she eases up on the breach. I don't feel like getting buried alive today.
Roger that.
Remember, Dusty, keep your breathing steady and never take that helmet off down here. Oxygen processors don't extend this far.
Yeah, because God forbid we drill on a rock with breathable atmosphere.
Know what I love about working in Freestock Collective space? Fewer regs. A job like this in the United Colonies? Huh. Look at this one over here. Calvert! No! No! It's a laser, not a sledgehammer! Ease up! Benning, if you got paid per break, you'd be a millionaire. Let's go!
Yeah, okay.
The dialogue's pretty funny.
What do we say, Dusty? You make your cut, you get your cut. No exceptions. Come on, pick it up! Troy, what's the yield?
Minimal at this point. Occasional glimmer, but it's weak.
What do you think? Stay the course?
No, ma'am. Juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Well, okay then. Let's call this one tapped. Why don't you move over to that big vein we looked at?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, graphics are what we expected. And if you saw any of the leaks, then you know as well the graphics are really well done.
Dusty, you're up. Grab a cutter and mine what you can. Metal deposits are in that cavern. I'll shout out when I need you.
Okay. Seems fairly straightforward here. The same type of Skyrim maneuvering and objective marking.
Is there anyone else to bother?
Oh, there's recoil. Nice, you have to actually pull down on the mouse to keep the beam centered here. Something you didn't have to worry about when you're using a bow in Skyrim. You didn't have to worry about recoil, but yeah, you can see it moves up if I don't counteract the recoil. So yeah, pulling down just slightly though on your mouse helps counteract it.
Ready, boys. Get back up here.
Okay, that was
Got a few
easy.
more digs to go before I feel like talking to you.
Come on. It's time. You're with me.
And yes, you can put your weapons away. There's a hotkey for that you can set up.
Standard's reading a clean break. Shut it down.
Let's go. Hella, get the readings.
Yeah, about that.
Problem?
Not if you consider a spike in gravity readings a problem.
I don't.
You don't?
What we're after, it'll read as an anomaly. That's what I was told anyway.
Okay, now you're starting to freak me out.
Relax. It's just another job. Come on.
A little bit of artifacting here on some of the reflective surfaces.
We're getting close, I think. Yeah, everything is just... Lynn, seriously, there's something really effed up about this.
Where is it, Hella?
Through there, I think.
Okay, you're up. Something goes wrong in there, we'll come get you.
Why would anything go wrong?
Would you shut up? Both of you do your jobs. Client is on his way.
Okay, so interesting. We don't know exactly what we're dealing with. What is off of here? Oh, is there another area down here? Oh, okay. Good. Well, as always, never head straight for the marker. Always do some exploration first. Oh, looks like we have more mining that we can do down here. And I don't know how important all of these mineral resources are, because as I said, I'm playing this for the first time here with all of you, so for a while you're probably going to see me pick up a bunch of these things, and then we'll learn later on that they're not useful for very much or something like that, and you'll see me start skipping them. When it came to Skyrim, it always was more of a weight per value type thing. What is this? Oh no. Bethesda object physics. Okay, now let's see if I'm going to get killed by one of these rock fragments when I walk through. It looks like they despawned. Anyone familiar with Bethesda games knows their object physics can get interesting sometimes. Oh wait, are these different? Oh, these are different. Okay, so we have different minerals that we can mine. Very similar to Skyrim with the different ores that you could mine. What is this? A NASA coffee mug? Alright, well, we'll take that. So yeah, again, little secrets here off the beaten path a little bit. Oh, is there one here? It's that same color. This one doesn't want to seem to break. Oh, I see. And my cutter is continuous and just runs out of energy. And then it refills itself. Okay, so it looks like this one doesn't break. I wonder if there's another way to get down in there with maybe explosives or something like that. So it opens up into a bigger cavern down here. And some more minerals. Oh, we've got another cave type thing over here. Oh, and another mineral. Neodymium. So tap F to bring up my scanner. Yeah, I'm hitting F. I don't think I have a scanner maybe yet or anything like that. It's not popping up anything on my screen. Is that something that you get later? For all of you who played it, yeah, feel free to give me hints or whatever. Just no spoilers. So you can jump There is a sneak hotkey, but it's not working right now. It doesn't look like I'm crouching. So... Okay, well, looks like that cleared out this bottom area. So there were a couple things down here. Got some different types of minerals. That sort of stuff. So, I think we're probably done exploring down here, so now let's head up this way. Oh, we do have some more minerals up here. I'm gonna open up my inventory real quick. Oh, I can't. The inventory hotkey doesn't work either. Okay, so it's obviously in tutorial mode, kind of like the beginning of Skyrim, where you're really just kind of following the set path and doing...
Still getting weird gravity readings. I guess that's a good thing. Just keep going.
So possibly some portions of the gameplay mechanics are disabled during this, and that possibly might be, Dracula, why this scanner that you're talking about is not able to be utilized here, because it's just locked out during this tutorial section, if that's how we want to approach it. That's the other thing about Bethesda games, or that, you know, Skyrim type games. Always turn around and look behind you, because you will have things hidden where you can't see them when you come in from one direction, and you have to turn around and look behind you. So always look behind you periodically. Kind of like I say with Baldur's Gate 3 games, always kind of look around you while you're maneuvering around. It's the same thing in Bethesda games. Always kind of look behind you as you've gone through somewhere. So, okay, not until I leave the planet. Okay, so interesting. We do have some... Oh, there's another deposit here. So can I mine this? Oh, it just takes a lot longer to mine. I wonder if minerals have hardness and that sort of stuff that... Because, yeah, these definitely take a lot longer to mine than the previous ones were. Yeah, I almost quit holding down the fire button during one of those. Okay, maybe there are different hitboxes on these or something as well. Yeah, okay. So you kind of have to watch your hitbox tutorial. You don't really know how important any of these are. So I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes just picking them all up, and maybe it's a waste of time, not the most exciting gameplay to see, but maybe it turns out to be important. Okay, so yeah, there are looks like some hitbox type things here going on, so okay. Don't know where the hitbox is here. Oh, there it is. It's got some music playing in the background here. Interesting. It looks like the beams go through these. Oh, but they react. Oh no. Not more Bethesda physics. I hope that thing doesn't turn around and hit me in the back of the head and kill me. It is rather interesting, though, that they have programmed in physics reactions for those. Does it bounce off that wall? It does. Interesting. Yeah, I know. That would be a Bethesda thing for me. I'm minding my own business and something comes out of the middle of nowhere and kills me. Okay, well there's a lot of this around, and this doesn't seem to be a standard type of mineral deposit because I'm in here with a weird object that's playing music. So maybe these things are special to just this area, so I'm gonna pick up as many of these as I can. I could be completely wrong, and you find these on every planet you're ever gonna visit. But for me, it's a little strange place that we're in here, so I'm gonna make sure I've collected as much of these as I can. Just in case. Looks like we're almost done here. We're almost back to the entrance. So. Yes, and now we're back where we started. So I think that's all of them. And we did pick up some other minerals while we were in here as well, so. I think now we can take a look at this. Okay. And take the object. Hey, Lorian, welcome to the stream. No worries. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Interesting.
Dusty, snap out of it.
Hey, come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
Aha. Character creation. So now we get to see how in-depth Bethesda went with this. If I had to guess, it is extraordinarily in-depth and almost to the point of being overly complicated. Just having experience with previous Elder Scrolls games, you could probably customize every little tiny thing about your character. It looks like maybe we have some presets here to start with. So 40 or so presets maybe. And yeah, you can rotate your character around. So interesting. So, oh yeah, here we go. Okay. So yeah, you can, it's interesting that it's on the fly changes. So as you move it around, you can you can view in real time what the changes are and how they work. So interesting. So body type, this must be male and female. Yes, yes. So walk styles probably associated, probably different. Yep. Yep, same exact thing. Skin tone changes. All the same sort of stuff. And yep, here we go. Okay, yeah, here we go. Here's Bethesda for you. There's probably 30 different things that you can change here. None of this is super important for me. It's always a little bit comical because you can do some absurd things with the Bethesda character creators. So, being this is in space, I'm going to keep a short haircut. Long hair in space is never a good idea, especially if you're in zero grav. So, backgrounds. Okay, so I guess this is somewhat similar to like class and racial selections in other RPGs. It looks like these are giving you starting skills based upon what type of background you've chosen here. So I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm just going to quickly go through them and see, based upon my previous experience with Skyrim, what I think is going to be more useful to me starting out. So security is probably your lockpicking skill and that sort of stuff. So piloting, target control systems, this is, so I guess, skills for ship-based as well as land-based encounters or combat. So chef, so it looks like we are able to create foods out of ingredients like you could in Skyrim as well. Combat medic. Okay, stealth, that's always good. Well, it was in previous Skyrim games. I'm assuming that it's going to be the same here. So stealth, theft, and security is kind of your rogue type of class. Commerce, well, persuasion, yep, for your diplomatic or your conversational skills. Lasers, so I think we've got, yeah, different types of weapons. So we've got shotguns, pistols, that sort of stuff. Do we also have ballistic type weapons? Because we've got laser, yeah, ballistic type weapons is here. So yeah, it looks like we've got multiple different types of weapons, different types of ammo types. So interesting. So melee. And that was always in Skyrim, that the most powerful, well, stealth was just broken in Skyrim. If you've played it, it was just broken. And melee from stealth was almost always a one-hit kill. Bonuses to damage, to ranged damage from stealth were always a big thing. So this might be a selection that's interesting. There was another one that had stealth in it. Oh, weightlifting is also carry capacity. I don't know how important that's going to be starting out here. It was very important in Skyrim. So something with weightlifting might be good. But yeah, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. I do wanted to look at there was one that had stealth. Here we go. So stealth, security, and theft. So the real difference are whether I have security and theft versus melee and scavenging. So scavenging is just, I guess, probably finding better things out of the crates that you're looking at. And theft is your pickpocketing skills. And that sort of stuff is my guess, with security being probably, I'm assuming that they have different levels of locks in this, like they used to, or like they did in Skyrim, and maybe leveling up security opens up being able to open up more lock types and that sort of stuff. So I think I'm gonna go this way. Just for my starting skills. My assumption is that I'll be able to look at the skill tree after I'm done with this and and see what all skills are here. But based upon the released information from Bethesda, there's a huge set of skill trees here. So I'm assuming that this just gets me like an initial skill point in any of these, and I'll be able to level them up or level up others as I go. So traits. Okay, so it looks like these are... Okay, so these are bonuses to different types of interactions that you have. So health and oxygen. So you start with a home, but you have to pay for it. Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. You use less oxygen when you're adventuring with human companions, but more when alone. So again, I'm going to assume it's going to be like Skyrim, and that I'll have companions I'll be able to bring along with me on my quests as I go, so that might be a helpful thing for that. So Freestar Collective. It looks like we've got some governmental things, maybe? So United Colonies, Freestar Collective. Oh no, that's interesting. Armed mercenaries getting sent after you. So Spaced and Terra Firma, looks like these are opposite from each other. Okay. And I don't know the split between how much time I'm end up spending in space versus on the surface. But, so I can make a gamble here on one of these. Most of the time I end up adventuring alone when I did my previous, or in my Skyrim playthroughs. So maybe that will be beneficial. I'm sure there are going to be times when I'm going to be stuck with a companion. But it also is human companions. So I guess if I can recruit non-human companions, maybe they can come with me and it won't override this. That's interesting. So, alien DNA. You start with increased health and oxygen, but healing and food items aren't as effective. So, I guess this is really going to come down to how often I want to craft my own food or find my own food to get my health back versus starting off with increased health and oxygen. This, I don't know if that increased starting benefit is going to become more of a problem later on in the game. But I might as well pick one of these two collective options here. Don't really know any of the differences between them, but I think we'll go from there. So now we're going to finish, and of course my name in here. So, oh, cool, you can change your pronouns. Interesting. Okay, so I'll just confirm here and go from there.
Our blade for hire turned dusty. I still got 5 credits saying you assassinated some Ryujin executive. Well, you got the sample. Client's on his way, then we all get paid. You remember anything that happened? Huh. Well, you passed out, that's for sure. Everything else, probably just your brain playing tricks. Either way, we got what we were looking for.
All this trouble for that stupid thing? Huh. Sure don't look like much.
Never mind what it looks like. It's worth more than this mine has pulled in all month. We'll be... Speak of the devil.
Okay, so we have first and third person. Yep, this seems fairly normal. The over-the-shoulder type. I've never liked this view. I've
Constellation
never
contact is on approach.
liked it.
Wait,
I've always much
Explorers
preferred the first-person view.
I thought they were kind of a joke.
Not a joke. You're just too young to know better.
But it's there for both.
Hey,
So
I'm just saying they got a reputation. Hell, I bet half the crew here doesn't even believe they really exist.
Half the crew doesn't believe Earth
are they going to
exists,
stop
but it's
somewhere?
still there. Same with
Or am I going to need to follow them? Okay, yeah, they're stopping.
Come on.
Because, yeah, there are other things to look around. So this is... I'm anxious to see what the exploration is like and see if this is like previous Bethesda. Okay, it is. Where you've got a million things laying all over the place that you can pick up. And it really turns into a mass versus value calculation as to whether or not it makes sense for you to pick it up and sell it later on and that sort of stuff. So looks like we're going to run into that same sort of thing. Oh, we do have med packs, so take and transfer. So, okay, so take just moves the highlighted thing directly into your inventory. I'm sure we'll find something else to loot that we can explore transfer, but oh yeah, you can even take fire extinguisher. So yeah, it really looks like it's a credit stick. Okay, free money, take that. So it does have a very similar vibe. So undersuits. So I guess let's see if we can pull up our inventory. We can. So we have a helmet, we just don't have one equipped. Okay, we have a spacesuit, a mining pack. Okay, so these all have their own individual stats over here. And we do have some... Okay. So we do have some different clothing, apparel, and that sort of stuff you can wear as well. Okay, so here's the resources that I guess I mined. So those are now in my inventory. And they weigh quite a bit. If this is, it is 18 calamite at 0.3 pounds or whatever unit it is. So yeah, we're looking at, you know, 6 pounds out of that 45. So these things can get in half. So there's like 12 pounds just in beryllium. So your resources that you mine, you're going to take up a lot of carry weight here, it looks like. Miscellaneous. Oh, and the coffee mug I picked up. So I don't have any weapons. All I have is the cutter for right now. Okay, so this is your main menu screen, I'm assuming. So yeah, the star map. So skills, here are the other skills. Yeah, and we're familiar with this. This was all released earlier. So looks like I did start with the initial skills. Current rank 1. Oh, and it gives you a challenge progress. I guess that's what you have to do to rank up. So right now my melee weapons do 25% more damage. Oh, and take 10% less damage while wielding a melee weapon. And yeah, rank 2 that's locked. So I guess after you kill 20 enemies with a melee weapon, you can then unlock rank 2 and spend a point on it. So very similar type of rank up mechanics and that sort of stuff. So I guess that container that I looted, the med kit, counted toward my scavenging skill. So, and again, you'll be able to level all these up as you go. So stealth right now, okay, so it added a stealth meter, 25% more difficult to detect. Suppressed weapons do an additional 5% sneak attack damage. Okay, so that's important. That's what I need to start looking for is now suppressed weapons to capitalize on my stealth skill. And then I believe concealment was the other one. Yeah. This is your sneak attack damage modifier. Oh, and this is both ranged and melee together in one skill. So 4 times ranged and 10 times melee damage. So this is what I was saying, very similar to what you saw in Skyrim, where stealth could really improve your damage numbers. And that's how I play, so it looks like, yeah, same progression. You have to spend 3 skill points somewhere in here to be able to unlock this tier. And then from here you have to spend 7 points to unlock this tier and 11 points to unlock this tier. So it's going to be a while until you get to concealment unless you just entirely focus it down this way. But weightlifting is also in here. This is my carry ability, so I'm going to probably be spending quite a bit of time here in physical, but my combat, these are straight buffs to straight buffs to different weapon types. So I'll probably be spending some points here at combat starting off as well. The science and tech trees, looks like tech is a lot based around your ship, but there's also lockpicking, and your boost pack is in here. And science is, looks like a lot of your upgrades, I guess. You have weapon engineering, spacesuit design, chemistry, your outpost stuff. Okay. So all of that makes sense. So your inventory you just saw. This is your mission list, and I think there's a hotkey for missions. So your missions show up here. You can track and untrack them. Okay. Fairly straightforward. And my level, and I guess where I'm at. There's a surveyed list here, so I'm assuming that based on looking at things or picking up items on the planet, this surveyed number goes up. Because I haven't done anything except for mining, and I'm already at 80% here. So we don't need to look at the star map just yet. But the space undersuit, you can see, I guess it's nice that it does show pluses and minuses, so what's better and worse about your equipment while you're just looking at it. So, interesting. So we've got another room over here.
Just trying to get through my shift.
Oh geez, so you can pick up... Yeah, it's like Skyrim. You can just almost pick up everything. You can pick up trays. Oh boy, yeah, it's going to be one of those that after a while you're just going to have to start thinking about what is the weight versus the value. And you'll come up with a number in your head that will let you know some things to pick up and not pick up. There's a door here. Okay. Plunge. Oh, you can take the plunger. Interesting. You can take tissues. You're kidding. You can take empty toilet paper tube. Yep, it's a Bethesda game. Hey Jerry, welcome to the stream. So we're just going to go through here and quickly look through some lockers, make sure...
Got a packet.
Okay, so here is some food. I don't know how important this is going to be, so I'm just going to pick up a little bit of food. Oh, this is a crafting ingredient. Do they have... Okay, so they do. It looks like there's a tier system for the crafting ingredients. So the isocentered magnet is, it says it's a common component. Beryllium is uncommon and it's got a single light blue diamond. Neodymium is rare, so it's got 2 purple diamonds, and europium is exotic. So it's got 3 diamonds. It looks like there's unique, but it's got the same 3 yellow diamond. So it looks like there are tiers of your crafting materials. So I'm assuming that there's going to be tiers of items in this. So tiers of weapons, possibly, suits, packs, all of that sort of stuff. So... a digipick. This was mentioned in the skill. Is this like a lockpick? I'm assuming it's a lockpick. So I'll keep my eye out for those. Lockpicks are always useful. Oh, there's another
Argos usually ain't so good
med
at
kit here. So now we'll go to transfer and see how transfer differs. Oh, okay. So this allows you to inspect every item that's in here and see more information about it. Okay, so our med packs are 0 mass, which is good to know. So we can just pick up all of those. And you still can take all from here. So I guess if you don't know what something is, you can go to the transfer option and inspect all of those items more in depth before you pick them up. And I wonder if that transfer maybe is going to allow you to have multiple. Maybe if I had a companion, I'd be able to give items directly to the companion through there. We can explore more of it as we go. So there's a switch here. I guess it opens this door. I think this is the med pack that I looted previously. Yeah, it was. So this must be the lift that we went to. Yeah, that takes us back down to the outpost, down where we were. Personal log.
Personal log. Heller, Argos Extractors. I figured Vectera for your standard moon. Looks like I was misinformed. Lynn just filled me in on what we're really doing here. Looks like Lynn's got another...
Well, you guys can read through these
discreet contract
on your own afterward.
He says there's something special.
They're all voice acted, which is
$10
interesting. But yeah, I don't want to spend a lot of time just reading. So there's a locked door. So unlock. Oh, and it's got master in parentheses. So it's a master lock. So very similar to Skyrim. Okay, so the lock is too difficult. So it's got the same type of progression in that you need to advance through different locks. What was different about Skyrim was it didn't matter what type of lock it was. You could still attempt to pick it. It was just harder to do it. Here, there must be a progression here through security. Okay, yeah, here it is. So your ranks determine which type of locks you can even attempt to pick. So we're gonna have to rank up to be able to get to a master lock. That's quite a ways down, so I'm assuming that we'll be able to return here at some point, because you're only going to have one skill point even if you picked security when you started, and this is a master level lock where you need 3, so we'll just have to remember it and come back here at some point. So adhesives and sealants. Hey Axel, welcome to the stream. Okay, so these are resources as well. So we'll just take all of those. Oh, thanks for the compliment, Axel. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to be doing, especially on our first playthrough or first time playing the game here. This is my first time playing it. I did not play it off stream before I got here, so you're going to see me kind of walking through and explaining some more things as we go through here today. Just because I'm learning this first part just like all of you are. So I'll be comparing it to previous games from Bethesda that I have experience with. So
don't get too used to how easy this has been. Next
so it looks
day
like we
might
got a
be
whole bunch of
toxic
shelves
gas
here,
or
and
worse.
just gonna kind of move your mouse around and see what you can and can't take. Doesn't look like you can take a whole lot, so there's another supervisor's log here.
Log. It
And again, I'll let you guys can go back and read this on your own. I read really fast, so I can get the gist out of it and see if there's any mission critical stuff in it as I go.
I'm working.
Oh, zero wire. Okay, so this is another crafting ingredient. You can take the portable desk fans. Yep. Bethesda game. Yeah, the coffee mug and the wrench. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, you can just pick up and take everything. So, and that may become something, you know, at the start of Skyrim, it was always, oh, those are credits in the store. Okay, so storage boxes, looks like they have colored lights on them to kind of help alert you to the fact that they're there. And then they go out once you've searched them. So that's good. Yeah, I thought that looked like the zero wire that we picked up. Circuit board doesn't show it as a crafting ingredient. But yeah, in Skyrim, when you started off, it was always important to just pick up everything so you could go sell it. Alright, Dracula, thanks for showing up for the stream. I appreciate it. But here it might be different. We're not going to pick up everything like you would do at the start of Skyrim, I don't think. If I'm short on money, I'm short on money, but somehow I doubt
Not
it.
interested. Whatever.
Oh, that's some really high value. So we'll probably take that. Just because it's high value.
You think we'll be done here
So
soon?
again, you do have some food items. I don't know how
Yeah, this is
important
the
all the
last
food
day.
items are going to be in this game, so I'm just going to pick up a few here and there and see how it goes. Okay, so your food does have certain benefits as well, like reducing the amount of oxygen use and that sort of stuff. Very similar to crafted foods in Skyrim. So darts. Wonder if you can play darts. No. So you can pick them up.
How'd they sucker you to join?
Doesn't
Fall
look
for
like you
fancy
can
pamphlets?
interact with them though, or modify them though. So, geez, all sorts of stuff you can take. You can take notepads. Okay, Bethesda, come on. You're going a little bit overboard here. So, lemons, another food. And looks like another log here.
Supervisor's log supplemental. Still day 2 of Argos Extractor's Vectera dig. Restock collective.
Okay, so it looks like it was a special project for somebody or Barrett.
This is just another ore run. Vectera's got enough mid-level
Okay,
veins to keep
and they're
everyone
working for
and not asking
Constellation.
questions. I've told
Constellation
Heller
credits.
everything he needs to know.
So you can pick up another cutter,
Lynn sure
and that's
seems to
worth
like
quite a
you.
bit of money.
Guess you would know, being the boss
I'll
and
pick
all.
that up.
All right, Dusty. Airlock. Put your helmet on.
Okay. So that's easy enough. Take it easy, Axel. Yeah, I'll be back for the Baldur's Gate live stream starting at 11. So again, the graphics, as was expected that we saw in the release trailers, looks really, really good.
Really? In a discovery class? That shit's older than
Oh. Very nice. Oh, we do have another med kit over here. What is this? Oh, we've got a weapon. Okay, so let's see if this operates. Okay, so we do have a favorite button here. So if we favorite it, okay, yeah, this is very similar. So now we can we can drop this into a slot or quickly bringing it back up. So I don't know if I'll need to favorite my cutter, but I'll put it down at the other end. Oh, and our med kits are already on 0. Okay. So something that was always very important to do in Skyrim, and I'm assuming now I can hot swap between weapons. Oh, I can't. You have to bring up... Oh, okay, so it reset my weapon selection there. So, Eon... I want it to be here. So if I favorite the cutter... Okay. That seemed to work. Now let's see if I can hot swap between them. Okay, I can. Yeah, now you can just hot swap between them. So that's always a very important thing to set up.
Barrett?
Man,
Been a long time.
yes it has. That mine on Bendy, right?
Kazal, hellhole, like this place. Rare mineral contract. Your tastes are a bit more sophisticated now, huh?
So, you found something?
Right here. The new girl found it.
That right. And everything went cool? Just like grabbing those minerals on Bendy?
Kazal, and no, Barrett, not cool. She passed out after the extraction. Woke up saying all kinds of nonsense.
Is that right? Went on a trip, huh? That fun, huh? Not the most gentle push into the great mysteries of space, but hey, been there.
Look, just hand over the credits, and I'll be happy to never see this thing, or you, ever again.
That's why I like you, Lynn. All business.
Barrett, the scanners on the frontier are reporting a ship coming in hot from orbit.
I really thought I lost them.
Oh. Hold off the pirates. Well, so we get our first intro to combat right here. Okay, so now I do have a stealth function.
Just like the emergency drill. Go, go!
So you do have aim down the sights. Okay. So it looks like we've got some range issues here. We are only using a pistol, after all. Oh, and it looks like they've got melee pirates. As well as regular. Wow, takes a long time to reload. Yeah, there are some pretty serious range issues with the pistol here. So they have to be right up on you before the pistol's going to work. Oh, you have crits or headshots, which is good to know. And you can't just spam the fire button. It's got, yeah, range issues here. So you can't just spam the fire button, because as you shoot faster, you can see that the reticle expands and you'll miss your follow-up shots. Okay. So you do have critical hits and... Oh, that was probably not the right person there. Friendly fire's a thing. Okay. So, interesting. Their range limitations were outside of a certain range, you're not going to do any damage whatsoever. And then also crits versus headshots. Headshots do increase damage, but you can get criticals on just any shot. So I'm anxious to look through and see if there's a critical hit chance, you know, increase skill or something, you know, something along those lines. So good ammo is no mass. That's the same as arrows was in Skyrim. And a rifle, as well as these are all worth quite a bit, so just gonna go around and loot all of these pirates here. A rescue axe, so for melee, I guess. And another maelstrom rifle. I'll take a look at this when it goes to carry weight. So it looks like we do have some minor casualties here. Oh, and you can pick up... Oh, there's a melee weapon here. Okay, so I can search the miners as well and see if there's anything that I might want to pick up. So I'll take the med pack since they're all zero mass. Okay, so familiar with all of those.
This attack better not be coming out of our pay.
Okay, so let's look at the weapons that we picked up. So the Maelstrom is... So the Ripshank is our melee here, so the axe is more damage, but it weighs more as well. The Maelstrom looks like is our rifle type, automatic rifle type. So we'll favorite that. And we'll put that in here. And we will add in a melee type as well. Just so we have all of those slotted. So just out of curiosity. Okay, horribly inaccurate. You can see the reticle expand. And you can see the bullets just go all over the place. Even at close range, it's horribly inaccurate. But single shot, it's not too bad. That's at short range. At long range, yeah, if you tap fire it, you're going to get much better results. Okay, so keep that in mind. The spray and pray is only for when they're right up close to you. Otherwise, you're not going to hit a darn thing.
Now that was some fine work under pressure. You dug up the artifact, right? That means you saw it. The visions? You're coming with me to Constellation. You're part of this now. Marvelous.
Oh no, Barrett. No. You think you're just going to take off after the mess you caused?
All right. I guess I did just put you all on the Crimson Fleet hit list. How about I stay and I send your Dusty here in my place? I know, but she's not some miner anymore, Lynn. Soon as she touched that rock, something changed. Don't tell me you can't feel it.
Fine. It's a deal. Get out of here, Dusty. You're on to bigger things. Just go. Before I say something I regret.
Well, now that that's settled. Vasco, get her to the lodge. No deviations unless absolutely necessary, okay? Protocol Indigo.
Indigo. Again. Very well.
Oh, and hey, take this. You'll find it very useful out there. And it even tells the time.
Oh, the Constellation Watch from the
Hey,
collector's edition.
The watch fits you perfectly. Now, questions? See, that's the problem with the settled systems. Too easy to take everything for granted. While everyone else is busy playing politics, we're the ones braving the unknown, charting the vastness of space. Without us, the galaxy is just a big room with the lights turned out.
Okay, so Constellation appears to be maybe a faction type, a group that you can. Well, looks like I've unwillingly joined. But your first faction here, and it looks like your main playthrough faction, kind of like maybe the Blades were in Skyrim and that sort of stuff.
Come on. You're really not at all curious about that light and music show you experienced? Why it only affected you? Because if you didn't notice, we've all been handling it since with no problem. The way I see it, Constellation needs that artifact, but they also need you. This mystery is only getting bigger each step we take. And you're part of it now. Technically, it's not even mine. Consider it a loan. Vasco will keep you on course. Besides, I'm making an exception since you can tell Constellation about that vision you had.
Okay. So...
And Vasco, don't let her break my ship.
You going? Staying around isn't helping us out any.
Alright, so looks like we're going to get our first look at a ship here. And this is where I'm really anxious to see how this goes. I have a lot of space sim experience.
I'll be in the external robotics bay.
So, Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen, I'm not expecting this to be that, either one of those. However, I'm anxious to see how much they've expanded on the ship-based portion of this game, and how...
Captain, I assume you know how to fly a Class A starship. As Barrett likes to say, it's as easy as learning to ride a bike. I will attempt to boost the shields, just in case there are any difficulties.
And whether or not this is, or how important the ship-based operations are to the playthroughs. So we do have the head here, and we have more food. There's a digipick. Pick that up. Yeah, a bunch of other stuff laying around in here that you probably don't need to pick up. So there's a personal slate, a personal log here.
Vasco. Protocol Indigo means no deviations, no distractions, no dalliances. In short, no fun.
Okay.
Unless...
So this is the ship Frontier. It belongs to Constellation, and we're now using it. So the navigation console, I'm assuming, brings me to the star map. It does. So you have a planetary map, and then looks like you can hit tab and go out to your system map. Okay. So you can see if you've explored the system, looks like you can see what's on the planets in it. Well, that wasn't something. Explore it before. Okay. So the icons are different. If it's got 3 dots on it, that means it's got a surface settlement or outpost of some type on it. If it doesn't, then there's no discrete structures or that are here, but there might be, I'm assuming, stuff that you can find on the surface in the way of hidden structures or things like that. But these let you know that there's definitely something there to look at. So then if you hit tab again, you can go out to the galaxy map. Okay. So the galaxy map here, okay, so it's 3-dimensional. Yes, you can rotate it. So it is 3-dimensional. And okay, so they put level designations on each of the planets so that you know not to venture too far. Or, geez, that one's 1 jump away and it's level 45, so I guess you just got to be careful what you're looking at here. But there are, you know, level 1 planets mixed in here. But yeah, it does let you know, and I'm assuming these start getting higher levels and that sort of stuff. Yes. Okay. So, fairly straightforward. We'll explore the jumping around the galaxy mechanic, I'm sure, here in a little bit. So, yeah, bed here, and I'm assuming beds... Okay, so they work the same way. So, with 1 hour of sleep time, does my health come back? It does. Okay. And you got a well-rested bonus. I wonder if that's the same as Skyrim. You have a research station here. Okay, so this lets you bring up your new craft, or research your new crafting options. So inside here, it lets you start looking at different projects so that you could get this performance enhancing. I don't know if this required materials is what it takes to start the research, or if that's what it takes to craft that thing after you've researched it. But yeah, you also do have research trees that you can... Okay, so here's your base building mechanic, which we're obviously quite a ways away from right now. Okay, and here's your suit modification type of things, and here's your weapon mods. Okay. So this all makes sense. So let's see... Okay, so these are the research materials. So you need to have these materials before you can conduct that research. And, okay, it looks like, so you can track your project also. Okay, so this is a good feature, in that if you want to focus on the Barrel Mods 1 research project, you're going to need iron, nickel, and sealant. This line over here was the same as when we hovered over it. It's letting you know that you can see down at the bottom, it says that the material is available. So you have sealant to be able to craft this. But the other two you don't have. So if you track the project, now if you ever run across aluminum or chlorosilanes out in the world, it's going to notify you that they're there in some way, or let you know that it's required for this particular project. So that's pretty good. You can't multiple select, so can you track multiple projects at once? Okay, so we're already tracking nickel for both of those. Can you track this one as well? Okay, so you can. So you can track multiple projects at once. to let you know when you find that material. Like I say, I'm assuming it's going to alert you somehow or let you know that this is part of one of your research projects. So, interesting. We'll obviously be getting much more into that as we go. Hey Axel, you have a good day. Enjoy your weekend. And again, thanks for showing up to the stream. I appreciate it. So, lots of consoles here. Jump seats. I'm assuming this is for your companions and that sort of stuff. Oh, we have cargo hold. Okay, so we've got 450 tons here. And it looks like we do have... Our cargo hold is full of crafting ingredients. So that's good. So nickel, sealant, iron. Okay. So if we go to our inventory, are we able to... Yes. So we can deposit all of these things. Oh, and there's a store all resources. That's good. That's going to be a time saver. And then since I've got a bunch of these things, can I store... Yes, I can. Okay. No, very, very good. So I don't have to carry around all of those things. So I do have some storage on my ship to help me manage this. And since I'm going to be with my ship quite a bit... Okay, so you... Oh, I see. So... Your aid category, you also have different treatment types. So I'm assuming that you're going to get an icon that lets you know if you have an infection, and that icon is going to correspond to this to let you know that you can use antibiotics to clear that up. Okay, so that's interesting. That's good to know. Okay. Oh, and then we have a captain's locker here. Okay, so this is a lot less mass, but it does have a book in it. Okay, interesting. And then here's our pilot seat.
Shields ready. The rest is up to you.
Okay. Well, looks like all we can do is take off here. That is a cool graphic. And it sounds very much like the space shuttle taking off, for instance. Okay. So... We've got systems over here.
Now that we are in orbit, it might be wise to test all controls and systems to ensure they are not on the verge of catastrophic failure. I can step you through the entire process, or if you're already an experienced pilot, just power up all the systems and we'll be on our way.
Hold left Alt and WASD to switch between systems and allocate power. I'm not even holding left Alt and I can switch between them. Oh, okay, so you have a pool down at the bottom of points available.
On a ship requires power. Allocating power is under your direct control. Let's go over the engines. Engines control our maximum speed. Try increasing and decreasing our relative velocity.
Okay, so the first thing that I don't like about this is that we have the standard types of systems.
Sweet spot for better handling during turns. Draw your attention to the HUD. You'll notice a speed indicator in the lower left with a gauge that goes up and down as you adjust the throttle. Try to center the gauge so that it lines up with the center of the vertical bars to its right.
Okay, I'll talk about that here in a second. the first, we've got 6 different systems here that we can adjust.
Or temporary bursts of speed.
Basco, stop talking. Okay. But you have to scroll through them, you have to decrease them, and then go to something else to add it. While you're in combat,
the shields. Notice more power increases their strength. Shields protect the ship from hull damage. Without a hull, but be vaporized. Shield health is displayed in the lower right. Hull damage is below it.
okay, this is the other thing I don't like about this tutorial, is that it just continues on. It doesn't halt until you've done that action. It just walks you through it. Yeah, see, this tutorial was almost useless. So, Bethesda. Oh, great. And now we're going to be getting into combat right off the bat. Yeah, that tutorial was horrible.
Laser-based weaponry is particularly effective.
Okay, so this I'm familiar with.
Ship centered on the HUD. We can lock in to fire a hull
Okay.
missile. The enemy
So now
shields are
switching
down,
to ballistic weapons to take down hull.
excels at damaging the hull once
I'm
shields
locked,
are
so I
offline.
can fire a missile. Okay. I want to talk about this more after we're done with all of this. Is that it?
Congratulations on surviving your first
This
search
tutorial
assignment,
was
Captain.
not,
We should search the wreckage for
is
spare
not
parts
great.
and other salvage. You will
It
need to
forces
fly
you
close
through
to
on
it
its
before we
own
can
schedule and
access
letting,
the
instead of letting
remains.
you take it at its own pace. Okay, so I can select it. Okay, and then you can just take everything. Okay, so that's an easy way to loot items. We're gonna go through this flight mechanic here in a little
2
bit.
more Crimson Fleet ships are jumping into our location, Captain.
Okay, great, thanks. So let's get past them as fast as we can. Get in behind them. Lowering our speed to increase our turning rate. Once we're behind them, increase our speed to stay with them.
Come on!
Okay, and then decreasing our speed as we go into the turns. Increasing our speed when we come out of it. Shields are down.
I'm taking you down!
Go to ballistic weapons and missiles. Okay, and now our next one. Okay, and then increase speed once you've gotten in behind them. So you can stay with them. So yeah, throttle management is important in this game.
Let's end this!
It's just, it's not a great way, because he boosted away. So we can get out of the way and we can now boost past him. Lower our speed for a turn. Increase our speed as we come out of it. And now we're on it. Okay.
The amount of Crimson Fleet hostility has been far more than anticipated. At this rate, the odds of continual assault from their ships are high enough to jeopardize our mission. In short, they are after the frontier and will not stop. We will need to deal with the local Crimson Fleet captain. A recent scan indicates an abandoned facility on the nearby moon of Kreet, a perfect staging area for pirates.
Okay, so let's talk about this. The first thing about this is, again, the tutorial is not well done, Bethesda. For someone who has no experience with playing any of these type of games, that rushed you through all of the tutorial there. It should pause the tutorial when it mentions speeding up and slowing down your ship. It should pause the tutorial until you actually speed up and slow down your ship. It shouldn't just skip over it and then immediately start talking about weapons when you still haven't even learned about the throttle yet. It's not a good way to introduce anybody to new mechanics that they're not familiar with. It's just not a good thing to do. The second thing is what I was talking about with systems. Systems in space sims are very similar to this. You have carrots, is what we call them, or pips, to apply to systems. The more pips you put in it, the more powerful that thing becomes. So my speed right now in engines, if I put it right here in the middle, my speed right now is 74, 75. If I reduce the number of pips in engines, my max speed goes down. So applying more pips into a system makes that system more powerful. So you can see that my shield right now, I have no pips in shield, so my shield is offline. If I increase that, then I'm at 33 shield, 66, and 100. Okay, so the more pips you have in your systems helps improve or decrease the quality of any of your individual systems. Now, the problem with that is that there are 6 different things here I can modify. Now, my grav drive, I probably don't need to modify when I'm in combat. However, if I'm trying to very quickly escape out of combat, I may want to drop my lasers and ballistics down to nothing and put all of that power into the grav drive so I can quickly escape. But to do that, in this game right now, I have to hit my left arrow, I have to go hit my down arrow 3 times, right arrow, down arrow 3 times, right arrow 4 times, and up arrow 6 times. That's a ludicrous amount of button presses that I'm having to do with my right hand, which is my mouse hand, while I'm trying to set my systems to get into or out of a possibly tense situation. Okay, now how space sims overcome this is they allow you to utilize a HOTAS to do it. They also allow you to utilize your offhand to do it, so that if you're on controller, you're using your right hand to fly your ship around, so you can still be using evasive maneuvers while you use your left hand to hit the D-pad or something like that to raise and lower the systems. Now, space sims normally only have 3 systems. They normally have shields, engines, and weapons. Here, your weapons are broken into 3 different ones as opposed to just 1, which is just 3 more things that you have to control. I mean, what would be optimal here is that you would lower your ballistic weapons to nothing, raise your laser weapons to full power until you took the shields down of the enemy, and then you would lower your lasers to nothing and your ballistics to 4, or your lasers to 2, so that now your ballistic weapons are able to fire longest while you're attacking the enemy's hull. But here, you can't do that, because there's no way for me to be, and there's a term here, finger effing my keyboard enough to control all of these things while still remaining locked on a target here. I'm now reaching my left hand all the way across the keyboard to try and adjust these things. But my left hand is meant to control my throttle. And the throttle is an important thing here. This I'm very familiar with from Elite Dangerous. The throttle has a white section in the middle. That, if your speed is in that white section, your turning rate is highly increased. But if your throttle goes out of it, you see now I'm turning slower. Okay? See how slow I turn? And then if I let off the throttle, it's going to come back to the middle and my turn rate increases. So what you want to be able to do is lower your throttle so that you can turn fast to get behind a target, and then once you're behind the target, you instantly want to raise your throttle all the way up. However, what's going to happen here, and this is something else that I don't necessarily like, is that as soon as you start turning, even though you're at full throttle, the game assumes that it's going to drop your throttle back to the midpoint and then throttle back up afterward. I would prefer to have that manual control over my throttle. And sometimes I want to execute a turn at full speed and not half speed. So the game's trying to help you out in that respect a little bit, but I don't necessarily like it. Having, and again, I don't know how many hours I'm going to spend in my ship here. I really don't. And Bethesda has said that there isn't, that there's no HOTAS support. For those of you who don't know what it is, HOTAS stands for hands-on throttle and stick. Having a joystick and a throttle, in addition to being able to use your keyboard and or mouse while you're in this, would be extraordinarily useful. I could have all of these system presets being triggered by hat switches on using my left thumb on my throttle right now. So I could move between all of these, raise them up and down, while still being able to pull the throttle forward and back using my left hand. And I could also, instead of hitting the E key to target, I could have that targeting button on my joystick. There's also ballistic, missile, and laser weapons. I could have all of those triggered to different buttons on my joystick so that I can fire all three of those at once, instead of having to trigger 3 fingers, because there's lasers, there's ballistic, so you can fire them both by holding both buttons down. But then if I want to fire the missiles, I got to hit another key to do it. On a mouse, holding all 3 of those down while you're still moving the mouse around can get a little difficult. On a joystick, it's so much easier to do all of those things. So I think Bethesda has really missed out on HOTAS support here. I know that people have said on the forums that flying the ship is only 5% of the game, so why would they put HOTAS support in for it? Well, people hadn't played the game, nobody had, so I don't buy the fact that flying this ship is only 5% of the game yet. That may turn out to be the case, but I still think they missed an opportunity here. The API to have HOTAS support native in a game is not difficult. It really isn't. They already have said, and I'm going to try it right now just to verify this. Give me just a second. I forgot. It's not near me. Give me just a second. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to plug in a controller here. Bethesda has said that they have hot swapping of controller inputs, and I want to test that. So right now I'm on keyboard and mouse. You can see all of my keys. It says mouse 1, mouse 2, G, and I'm using the mouse to maneuver myself around. Hot swapping is as soon as you press a control input on a different device, it should switch all of those inputs to be the other device type. So I'm just going to hit the A button on my controller. Yes. Okay. Now as soon as I hit mouse 1, it goes back to mouse and keyboard. So they have hot swapping of the controls here. So how it would be extraordinarily easy to have a native HOTAS API here, so that as soon as you hit the fire button on your joystick, it's swapped to HOTAS support. You could fly around, do everything up here, and then as soon as you land and you get out of your cockpit, you can hit the mouse button and it would transform back to mouse and keyboard. The only thing that this game is missing is just the API for HOTAS support. And it makes no sense that a multi-hundreds of millions of dollar company like Bethesda couldn't implement that when HOTAS APIs are all over the world right now. So, and that's what software engineering is for people who don't ever do software engineering or have never heard about it. All you're really, for the vast majority of what you're doing, you're ripping off other people's code that has been done in the past and you're modifying it. That's what software engineering is, for those of us who know kind of how it works for game development. But HOTAS support APIs are out there, and to sit a couple of guys in a room for a week and put in native HOTAS support for at least this section of the game is nothing in the overall development of this game. And they really could have improved it for those people who want to use HOTAS for at least this portion of the game. There are joysticks and throttles for consoles. I used a joystick and throttle setup on Xbox for years for Elite Dangerous. So I know that it would benefit everyone on PC and console. If you choose not to use it, fine, but for those people who have it, I think Bethesda missed the boat here. I think they missed an opportunity here. Now, hopefully we'll see this coming up in a future patch. There is also going to be a very extensive modding community here, like there was for the previous Bethesda games, so I'm sure somebody's going to immediately mod that support in. However, not having it native in the game, I mean, come on, Bethesda. Really? So, sorry, rant off. But yeah, I think they really missed the boat here. That combat would have been 10 times easier if I'd have been able to use my HOTAS that's built into my gaming chair here. But we'll see how it comes in the future. So now I'm going to continue on and look at this, the gameplay here as we go. But the tutorials were fairly straightforward, I think, as far as that went. When you're in combat, you throttle up and boost to get past the enemy so that they're no longer shooting you in the face. Then you slow down, you turn behind them. As soon as you've got them in your sights again, you speed back up so that you can stay with them and they don't get out of range. And use your lasers to take down their shields, use your ballistics and your missiles to take down their hull, and that's about it. So, and keep an eye on your hull and your shields down there in the bottom right. So let's go ahead and follow the rest of the tutorial here and open up the planet map. So I don't think we have any debris that's left. So now our quest marker is taking us over to Kreet, which is where we need to go. So here, I'm assuming that we can, down at the bottom, hit X to set course, and yes, you can travel to it. Okay, so a lot of loading screens here.
We have arrived in orbit. The abandoned facility with our Crimson Fleet captain is on the surface.
Okay. So from here, it said to hit tab, go to the star map. Okay, so this is actually the planet map that we're really interested in. So locate the map icon. Click it to land at it. Okay, so a whole bunch of loading screens. Again, I think we probably missed the boat here a little bit, Bethesda.
I'll follow you from here on out, Captain.
Okay, so we land down. And we're in our ship, and then we're going to exit the ship here. And we get another loading screen. Yeah, we've kind of, for those of us who were in who are familiar with space sims, it's going to get a little annoying having, I mean, there were 3 loading screens or indoor cutscene screens there just to get from one planet to another, from space to another planet, to land and to get out of your ship. So the whole loading screen thing is probably going to be a criticism.
The scanners. The abandoned research facility is in this direction.
Okay. So, okay, so our scanner now works. Okay. So we can hover over it and scan it. Okay, and you have to scan multiple ones, it looks like, to increase that percentage over there. And it highlights it after you've scanned it to let you know that you can't scan it again. Okay, interesting. So Bosco's with us. Okay, so it highlights scannable items, which is good. That's a good thing to have. Okay. So interesting. Yeah, Jerry, I think the loading screen thing's going to be a problem. I'm going to probably see if there are workarounds. Actually, I can try and see that now. So, for instance, if I want to get from here to another planet, like back where I was. So on Vectera, can I set course? Can I fast travel here? Okay. Fast travel is currently unavailable on my location, but if you can just click here and fast travel to that point that I've already explored and skip all of those and skip a bunch of cutscenes or a bunch of loading screens, then maybe that will be useful. But still, the whole landing and getting out of your ship loading screen thing, again, probably a missed opportunity there. But we'll see more of that as we go. I'm assuming these are the same ones that I scanned. They are. Okay, and it looks like... Okay, so nothing to be scanned here. There is a scannable object over here, though. Okay, so it's another one of these. I'm anxious to see... I'm going to take a little detour here for just a second. I'm anxious to see how this scanning mechanic works. Okay, so see, I scanned it and it went from 51 to 54%. So the survey data is going to keep going up, and you need to fully scan one of these sets of objects. So right now dust roots are 25, so I need to scan 4 more of them. Are there 4 more around here? Real quick. Okay, they're fairly common. We've got some more fauna over there. Okay, let me just see if I can scan... four of these and see if that fauna number goes up after I've scanned enough of these. I'm anxious to see if that's what the 0 of 3 for flora and fauna means, that I haven't fully scanned any of those. Okay, so it does show you oh, interesting. Okay. So if you show the resources, it shows the ones that that are here, as well as which ones are you're searching for. So you can see iron has the blue icon that you're looking for. So, and it's got my cutter on by default. Okay, so that's interesting. So if you switch to scanner, your cutter instantly swaps to it. So now can I... Okay, so now when you bring it up, it Okay, so that's a good deal. So it automatically knows that in scanning mode, you're not going to be using your weapon. You're going to be using your scanner. But now that I've brought my cutter up, does it swap back? Yes, it does. Okay, so that's a good mechanic. That's a good job there. Because you could walk around in scanner mode. Oh, and it looks like it also gives you a path to get to your highlighted objective. Okay. Also good. Also a good thing to have. So yeah, you could walk around and pick up all these resources. I'm not as interested in that right now. I just want to see how this works. Okay, so we do have some more grazers out here. These are marked as hostile. So actually I'm going to stay away from them for now. Just because I don't want to... I'm going to continue on with this quest. I'm just taking a slight detour here to see if I can find enough of these roots to verify how this whole scanning mechanic works. That's all I'm trying to do right now. Okay, so 2 more will get me to 100%. I think I know how this mechanic works, but I want to be sure of it. Okay, so iron, and yes, you can see it's got the blue icon next to it to let me know that that's one of the materials I'm tracking in my research project. So that's a good mechanic. And yes, the graphics do look amazing. We expected that, though. So it says resource fiber. Oh. Okay, so you can harvest this when you're not in scanner mode. Okay. Well, that's kind of a pain. I wish you wouldn't have to exit out of the scanner to harvest it. Because if I hadn't noticed that there's a resource associated with it, I would have never known that you could even collect that. And Skyrim being able to walk up straight up sheer walls. I wonder if they're going to have their equivalent of the Skyrim horse that can go up every vertical wall in the game. I think I've probably already scanned that one up there, but we'll go up here and check and see. Okay, so 100% scanned. Okay. So there it's... Flora went up 1 out of 3, and the biome is complete. So my guess is that there are different types of animals and different types of plants inside different biomes on the planet map here. So here there's a show resources button. Yes, this is probably what it is. So you can see that there are different minerals in different locations and that sort of stuff, so you can land and focus on getting just iron or just lead. Okay, so that's an interesting mechanic. Something very, very familiar with also if you're used to playing Elite Dangerous or something like that. Okay, so let's move our way in here and see if we can continue on with this quest.
Smaller independent pirate crews, all flying under the same banner. They are typically unscrupulous and violent.
Okay, so there doesn't appear to be anybody out here on the outside. Okay, and again, Standard things you can do. Looks like you can do some searching and exploring on the outside of this place. Which, if anyone knows me, you know that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go look around the outskirts of it first, see if there are alternate ways to get in, rather than just walking in the front door. Those alternate ways are normally either a little less guarded, or offer you ways to get behind your enemies or flank your enemies. So doing a little exterior exploration is never a bad thing. So yeah, looks like this one only has a front door. I don't see any other way. Well, maybe there's a way here. Okay. More items that you can search, but none of these are crafting materials, it doesn't look like. Oh, there's one. A reactive gauge. Sounds like something you would need for maybe base building or something like that. But yeah, it is pretty. It is very, very pretty. So Bethesda has done a great job with the graphics. That was to be expected, though. The state of graphics engines today, you wouldn't expect it to not be really good looking. How much can I jump here? Okay, so I can jump quite a bit because of low gravity, but there's nothing up there it doesn't look like I can look at, so... Doesn't look like there's anybody in here. I do still have my head lantern I can turn on. Just kind of going around through here and again looking for things that you can pick up that might be useful, or crates that you can loot. Well, the microscope's valuable, but it weighs a lot as well. Okay, and then we got a crate over here with some sedatives. And I should have looked at it. I should have done the transfer instead. But is that something in here? No, it's not. Oh, sedatives are crafting resources. Okay. Good to know. And then we have a med pack over here. Now, and you can see my scavenging is going up. So as I loot more of these, my scavenging skill is getting experience, so to speak. So let's head in here. I'm going to go into stealth and open this door first. Okay, so it's a cutscene to take us in. Okay. I don't see any enemies here. But, oh, it says, I wonder if that detected. Watch my stealth meter up at the top. See if it changes.
Curious. These are United Colonies markings, but we are in Freestar Collective space. It then stands to reason that this was once a secret UC facility.
Credits and some more food items. I stay in stealth most of the time that I am inside of locations where I'm expecting enemies. It's slower to move around. However, it gives me a way to be alerted if I'm about to sneak up on enemies, or when enemies start to see me as I'm approaching certain areas. So everyone's obviously free to play however they want, and the whole guns blazing approach is certainly viable. For me, that's just not how I have ever played these games, so I'm not going to change just because I'm live streaming it. Okay. Interesting. Oh, I can melee it. Sneak attack for 2 times damage. And nutrients. I'm assuming that's a crafting ingredient, but we'll look here in a little bit. So it looks like you can open up the refrigerators and all that sort of stuff. I'm assuming that I'm gonna find things like food items in here possibly, or things like that. There's a toxin, a crafting ingredient. And again, at this point, I don't know what all of these crafting ingredients are going to be used explicitly for. Oh, there's some food in this cooler here. So I'm just going to pick them all up. You'll start, as my carry weight increases, I'll start making sacrifices and dropping stuff on the ground in favor of taking other things. Okay. Expensive, but also weighs quite a bit. Okay, so no enemies up here. Sculpture again. Bunch of lootable items around here, but nothing that I'm overly interested in. I think I'm just being detected by Vasco behind me, and that's why it's green. Oh, there's some ammo here. Credits and lockpicks. Always good, and another med pack. Okay, well now I've got an orange border. Okay, it's green now. It was orange a second ago. Does this have... It does have a built-in lean mechanic. Okay, that's something good to know. If you come up next to a wall, you can see your weapon pulls up, but then if you hold right-click to aim down sights, it leans you out past the edge of the wall. So, that's... Can you see it here? No, you can't see it here in third-person view. But here, you can. It leans you out and then takes you back in. So, I guess a benefit of being in third person here is that you're able to lean out of cover to engage targets. Hey, Ryan Marr, thanks for showing up on the stream. I appreciate it. So, we'll again start going through here, seeing if there's anything that we can loot or pick up. Well, we've got our first corpse here. And we know that those are all crafting ingredients. We've seen those before. Okay, nothing in particular there I want. Nothing in particular there. Okay, and we're coming up on a door. Now, doors I know can alert enemies. That was in the stealth tree. At level 4, opening doors no longer alerts enemies, so I'm going to go look here. See if I see any enemies in here. I don't. Okay, so now you can hear them. Well, you're seeing the dialogue for them. I'm assuming we're going to be able to see them here in a minute. So some more food. Okay. Oh, okay, so you can see him through the glass. I don't know if you can shoot through the glass or not. I don't think it's something I'm interested in trying. I want to see if I can open that door without triggering them first. Okay, now you can see that my... Okay, so 50 plus 50 damage resistance for 3 minutes. That would be good going into this. So I'm going to recover my O2 less in drinking that. But I am going to have damage resistance. So yeah, you can see that my bar is now getting orange at the corners, indicating that there are enemies around. Okay. So I want to start off by trying to get these headshots in. And this thing is still horribly in... Oh, okay. So he's in melee. Thank you, Vasco, for the assist. Okay, well, he took a crit there. All right. So not too bad. So yeah, starting off with the headshots is always a good thing to think about. So if you can sneak into an area, get off that first headshot, always a good way to start. Okay, so we can take a look at some of these. Okay, so yeah, we've got some better things on some of these. So we're just going to go ahead and take all of these, and then we'll go through and see if there's any improvements that we can get on our armor and weapons after we've looted them all here. Don't need the rescue axe. So now looking at our inventory here, I guess. Okay, so we picked up a pirate raiding pack, which is a little less physical, but still a little better. Probably the same thing with the helmet. Yeah, a little less physical, but still better on the energy side. Console. The tilde button or the grave button takes you into your console mode. So it's right up near tab. So. Okay, and the same as Skyrim. Bump your characters to get them to move out of the way. And we'll continue on up here, though. No, Mackie, I certainly understand that. The way that I tend to focus my playthroughs is for people who have never had or never had the experience with the game, with the type of games before. Or have never had an experience with, say, Fallout or Skyrim. So especially on the first video here, there's going to be a lot of explanation. And those who have watched my Baldur's Gate 3 streams kind of have experienced that as well. And at least for a little bit here, okay, so there are obviously some pirates watching some videos or something of something. But yes, Mackie, at least for the first few videos, you're going to see a lot of explanation from me. Just because I'm catering it to people who might not have experience with previous Bethesda games or Skyrim or Fallout and that sort of stuff. So as we get farther through it, that'll tail off. But the gameplay type is still going to be the same from this respect, and that I'm going to be going slow through most of it. I'm not the go in guns blazing type of player when I've played these games in the past. Never have been, never will be. So, but yeah, I do appreciate the feedback. I mean, I certainly understand how it can break immersion quite a bit. So. Oh, we've got a safe here with our... Okay, so we get our first experiment with lockpicking. Okay, so... Okay, I see how this works. So what we're trying to do is fill up all of the slots here, I guess. So if I do that, that's going to fill up those 3, and then this one is going to fill up those 2. So I guess I want to start with those 2, go to this one. Okay, so yeah, this makes sense. That one would be there, and then this one would be there. Okay, so yeah, that works. Easy enough. So some more credits, some more med packs, and yeah, infection stuff here. So okay, so that's not a bad mechanic for lock picking. Seems more thinking about it based as opposed to more trial and error based that Skyrim was with breaking lockpicks off and that sort of stuff. You have to think about it more to make sure that you're doing it in the most optimal way and not losing lockpicks by slotting things in the wrong ways. Okay, so nobody on that side. Sorry, that's the former military in me coming out, clearing my corners and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so extra carrying capacity, that might be some good food to have. A Grendel, so we got another rifle here. The Eon we already have. So let's see how the Grendel compares. Okay, 170 fire rate. So the Grendel is our up close and personal weapon. A little more mag. Yeah, see the range is really low. Okay. So that makes sense. So the Grendel is our fast fire rate, up close and personal submachine gun type of weapon. So we'll slot that in there, and okay, so some more carrying capacity here, and now let's head out this way and see where these pirates are. That door is not able to be opened. Okay, we got a big room here. Alright, so we got our first... Looks like there's a few pirates over there. Would be nice... Oh, wow. I was just about to say it would be nice if I had a frag grenade. And it looks like I do now. Do I have to... Okay, I saw that there was a throwables. Okay. And I'd already set up my grenade key, so... Okay. That was bad. The thing went off right next to me. So evidently there's some throwing mechanics here that need to be investigated on how much clearance you have to have around you to throw. It doesn't just go where your cursor shows. there's obviously some wind up and some other things here that go along with it. Okay, so let's see where they are.
In combat, there is a high likelihood of human death.
Okay, so looks like he's over here. Okay, so that was useful, and the other guy's up top, it looks like. Yeah, maybe I am just bad at throwing. So the other guy, okay, so we have some more pirates over here on this side. Wasn't expecting them, probably should have been though. And this thing is just absolutely horrible. Okay, so I've got another one up here on this side. Okay, so he's hiding. Melee based. Okay, this guy's probably a little bit too far away from me for this particular.
I am aiming for your center of mass.
Okay, so I actually don't like... I like the lean mechanic, but I hate the sights on this weapon. It covers up too much of the target.
No longer a viable option.
Yeah, it covers up so much of the target that way. But these guys don't seem to be doing a whole lot of damage here. Tap fire definitely works better with that weapon. Okay, so these guys are fairly innocuous. They don't seem to be causing that much damage, even when they're right up next to you. So Graviplas Merc helmet. So we're gonna do some looting here, and then again we'll check and see if there are any improvements on our gear here. I did pick up another spacesuit there. And we'll do the rest of our looting down here. Make sure we didn't miss anything important. And loot the rest of these pirates down here. I didn't want to pick up that axe, but oh well. Okay, any crates or anything like that? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so what did we pick up? So our spacesuit, we've got the pirate assault spacesuit, so a little less physical, but thermal corrosive, more energy, so we'll change to that as well. So I think we're full pirate outfit now. We've got a bunch of Grendels, but they're all worth quite a bit. So they're 300 credits per weight. And these are still above that limit as well, so we'll keep all those on board for now. Like I say, once we start running out of carry weight, then we'll start looking at what we need to drop on the ground. Very similar type of mechanics that we're used to from Skyrim type looting and that sort of stuff. Oh, you can mantle as well. That's nice. So can you, like, mantle up over? Okay, so there's a mantle. Can you mantle up here? Okay. So they have mantling, which is nice. That's going to give you alternate ways to get to flanking positions and that sort of stuff possibly. So good to know. So a pharmaceuticals lab, I'm guessing if you have the recipes unlocked that this is going to allow, yes. This is going to allow you to craft. So yeah, I can craft bandages right now. So if you get the affliction icon in your HUD, then you'll know you need a bandage to treat it. Same thing with antibiotics. If you get this icon, you know you need that to treat it. So, okay. So craft your own healing potions, so to speak. Nothing in here.
Listen up.
Got another pirate somewhere.
Hold them up here while Brogan sets up on the roof. I'm on it. No one's getting through.
Okay, so they're setting up an ambush for us here. Another med pack. We'll just go ahead and use those. We've got plenty of them, I think, for how hard these guys hit. Like I say, they don't hit very hard at all. So can't see. Okay, so he's quite a bit down there. That was a big crit in the head. Okay. Okay, so again, he's probably a little bit too far back for this weapon to do a whole lot of damage. So headshots, these guys actually move around quite a bit. I'm actually fairly impressed with the AI here. And that they retreat once they've taken damage.
It is a shame exploration requires so much bloodshed.
And they tend to move around a lot when they're in combat, which is all really cool. And he used cover there. So again, I like how the AI are reacting so far. It's pretty cool. That just means me, who doesn't like first-person shooters very much, is just going to have a lot more fun. Oh, crafting ingredient. A lot more fun with these guys. Because yeah, my first time playing, I haven't played with mouse sensitivities or anything like that. Like I say, this is the first time I'm playing this with you guys here. So you're probably going to see a lot of errant shots and that sort of stuff as I learn how my mouse is going to operate throughout all of this as well. Do I have a... And honestly, I can't remember what my hotkey is for my skill tree. There's demolitions. Oh, okay. So you can now show the trajectory arc once you put it in there. Okay. So it's always going to throw in an arc. It's just now you'll be able to see where it's going to go once you put a skill point in. Okay. So thanks, except that's very, very useful. Okay, so anything else in here to pick up? Doesn't really look like it. Just a whole bunch of other stuff to loot. But there is the sealant. Another toxin. That was just some food. Okay. Looking around here, nothing much, it doesn't look like. Alright, well, we know where we have to go. We do have another body here. Okay, some more lockpicks. I'm assuming there are more than just those two pirates. Okay, well, nobody here in this room. Ammo case here we can unlock. It's very interesting, Motive. It's very much like my experience in Bethesda games is with Skyrim, and it's very much along that same vein. It really is. So this one. Doesn't line up. This one lines up there. But that means I'd need 3. And this one doesn't line up here. Okay, so those don't overlap. Okay, so they overlap there. Okay, so those are the two that work. Yes. And then this one looks like it's fairly straightforward here. And there. Okay, so shotgun shells, again, ammo has no mass, so pick it all up. Just like arrows in Skyrim used to. Okay, so looks like there's our ladder hatch.
Nearby. We could make use of whatever is inside, provided you had some digipics and a disregard for personal property rights.
Okay, so some more food items. You think I can check the computer on the desk? Oh, good call. And there's some credits there too. Oh, this must be what they were watching here. Okay, so looks like they're, this is the movie Aliens type of tie-ins. Instead of xenomorph, they're terrormorphs. They're trying to breed biological weapons. Interesting.
It's loose. The terrormorph is loose. We can't stop
Yes. So yeah, it looks like they're trying to control them. Marines were bringing them in, and they were trying to control them, and one got loose.
Killed Michelson, Cobb, and Sumantri in all of 1 minute. I'm not even sure where it is now.
Okay, so let's see here what we've got. So that takes out those 3.
When I know it's safe, I'm going to make
but that one's not needed for this.
Call in the
This
cavalry.
one is
Hayden Wynn,
here.
lead xenobiologist. Wishing he had
Nope,
gone to
not
dental
this one
school like his
either.
parents wanted.
This one would take out those two, but this one wouldn't fit. It's gotta be this one. Nope, that one doesn't fit anywhere. So here I'd need the two on the far side, so that's not going to work. Okay, now it works. So that one and this one. Yes. And now this one, the only where that one fits is there, and that means this one would have to fit up here. Okay, so a book, great. It's Bleak House? Is it really Bleak House? Some credits and a med pack. I'm anxious now to see if that actually is. Oh, that's probably in notes. Yeah. Yeah, it actually is the book. Bleak House. Interesting. Okay, we got another a log here. We're all dead. Yeah. So there's a terramorph roaming around somewhere.
The whole room is trashed. We can't call for help. I can hear the terramorph roaring somewhere. And more people screaming.
Okay, so a med pack, Synapse Alpha. Okay, so we got a shotgun. So we will favorite that and put that into our number 4 slot. And the rest of it was just some ammo and stuff like that. So how much ammo do we have for this? Okay, so we got 73 shots. Okay. So let's head out here. Okay, so it looks like the pirates are waiting for us, and they have a quest marker, so I'm guessing we can probably talk to... Okay.
Me. The Frontier has a new captain? You working with Barrett, or did you pry the ship keys out of his cold, dead hands? Oh, no. You see, maybe your colleague Barrett didn't tell you, but there's a bit of a legend surrounding that ship. That constellation keeps treasure hidden in the cargo bays, the loot from 100 planets, and it's going to be ours.
That statement is partially correct. The Frontier has been to many planets and moons. But the only things held in the cargo bays are spare parts, dust, desiccated food particles, and a variety of species of ant.
I don't care what kind of lies Barrett programmed that robot to say. We're taking that ship.
Okay, so looks like you have some persuade options here. So there probably are going to be times when I want to go through persuasion mechanics, but this probably isn't the time. Again, after seeing what they did to the rest of this station in here, maybe in concert with the Terramorph, maybe not, but either way, I'm probably not going to let pirates live. So, just going to start combat here.
Protocol Indigo dictates that I am to return to the lodge with no deviation.
So,
we are here to
Looks like they've got reinforcements.
Nothing more.
Rogan is out here somewhere. Oh, can I get... Huh. You can get high ground here. But you've got a range problem, it looks like, from up here. Oh. A weapon case. Please give me a long-range weapon. And it didn't. Because I don't think that I'm going to be able to hit much from up here is my guess. Yeah, because see, they're not able to hit much from all the way over there. Okay, so they're here. This is probably close enough.
Please avoid getting shot.
Oh, so they get wounded. Rogan, it was probably a mistake to get this close to me here. So slow down the rate of fire to try and get the headshots and that sort of stuff. Yeah, and if Rogan's going to sit there and take it, I'm going to keep giving it to him. Okay. So that worked out. They've still got some reinforcements over there, it looks like. Yeah, over on the other side.
Enemy activity detected at close range.
So I am able to reach them with the pistol. Okay, so that worked out well. That one I can't... Oh, I can reach. Just barely, though. Okay, so they're taking off and leaving their buddies. Yeah, there might be some range issues there with the pistol. So, I think this has a little bit more range. So when they are taking cover...
really should be incarcerated.
Really should be incarcerated? I think we're past that. Okay, and it's got... And it, yeah, it's got, wonder if there's a holding breath mechanic or something like that. Because you get, when you're aimed down the sight, you can see it's moving all over the place. So yeah, tap firing's definitely the way to go with this thing at long range.
I do not feel pain, but I hear it is terrible.
Okay, he's done. This guy's almost out.
You appear to be prioritizing our deaths over your own survival.
Okay, one more here. He's actually coming up pretty close. Alright. Yeah, gonna have to get used to the effective ranges of all of these weapons. And recoil patterns, stuff that I don't normally have to deal with. You know, like say from Skyrim, you didn't have to. It was really just aim with the bow, aim a little bit above their heads, and try and loop stuff in. But here, there's a lot more involved with it. So... Okay, so there was a bar up there about being encumbered. So I must be over my carry weight, and I am. So now it said I'm going to be quickly running out of oxygen as I do things, and yeah, you can see on the watch down there, my oxygen is now dipping down as I just walk around. Okay, so that's what happens when you become encumbered in this game, is your oxygen is then affected. And running out of oxygen and building up CO2, I'm assuming causes bad things to happen. Like taking damage and possibly being woozy or something like that. But I assume it's not good one way or another, so let's make sure I looted everything that was up here. Looks like I did. But it didn't slow my movement speed down. It looks like it's just slowing down how far I can move with that same movement speed. So that's pretty good. So now there's a couple of other options I can... The quest wants me to go back to my ship. There are a couple more guys over here I can loot. This would be an interesting time to see if there's fall damage. But I know that there are a couple more guys over here. Let's just see if there's... Okay, so I did take a tiny bit of fall damage there. Okay, and yeah, you can see my oxygen meter goes down pretty quickly when I'm just walking around. So that's what being over encumbered does. I don't know if there are multiple levels of being encumbered or not. Like once you reach a certain level or as you start carrying more, does it affect your oxygen level even more so it goes down faster? That sort of stuff. All going to be interesting things to try and check out. So there was a third guy over here. Oh. They blend in really well at night out here, and I don't think it matters. So the thing it said to do, okay, so it said to pull out your scanner, and yeah, if you hover over it, you can, down at the bottom, you can fast travel. You're carrying too much and can't fast travel. Okay, so that's the same as Skyrim, in that if you are overloaded, then you can't fast travel. However, I wonder if it's just fast travel within here, or if it's also fast travel anywhere. Okay, so fast travel is currently disabled at the location I'm at anyway, so I can't check it. In Skyrim, even though you were overloaded, you could still walk over to the wagon courier guys and just pay them to go wherever you wanted to go. So I'm anxious to see how much this disables fast traveling, just being encumbered here in this game, and see if there are any workarounds for it. Yes, he's trying to tell me to fast travel to my ship, but he doesn't know that I'm overloaded. Yeah, send to camp, exactly. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go to the cockpit, I'm just going to board it now because I do want to offload.
To reach the lodge, we must jump to the planet Jemison in the Alpha Centauri system, and then...
Here. So you have to go to your inventory first, it looks like. Okay. And now I can start offloading all these extras. Whoops. Okay. So that makes sense. So it's got the same type of operation as far as a... Yes. Once you're over a certain amount, it brings up the select amount screen. Okay. So that makes sense. I'm probably going to have to... Oh, so there's I picked up a modified Maelstrom. Okay, so this one's a semi-automatic version of the Maelstrom. Okay, so that's going to be probably even better. It looks like it's got a scope of some sort on it, so I'm going to... Well, I'll deal with that here in a second. So I'm actually going to store this one, because I'll probably use this one instead. I've got 2 coachmen, I don't need 2. Okay, so for my packs, weighs more, does more physical, thermal and corrosive. I'd lose my airborne though, because I want to try out my... I want to try out the boost pack once it becomes available. Okay, and this is just, again, clearing up my inventory here. So this one's about the same. Okay, and as far as all this stuff goes, it's all fairly small. I forgot to try out food. Can I store all resources? Yes, I can. That's good. That's a great option. Okay, and some stuff that I'm going to sell later on. Okay, so I think that's good enough for cleaning up my inventory now. So let's go put the modified Maelstrom in my quick bar, and that's going to be now number 2. So now this can be, I think, probably a little bit longer range. The Eon, yeah. I think the Maelstrom can do longer range. The Grendel will be for up close now.
Do not worry. This will all become second nature before too long.
Oh, it says fast travel directly from the missions menu. So... missions, I believe, is L. Yes. So here, there's a set course, R, down there at the bottom. Okay. So that's a nice feature. Because that skips the whole takeoff cutscene, the whole jumping, loading screen, all that sort of stuff.
Frontier. This is United Colonies Security. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned.
Okay, so there's...
No contraband detected. You are cleared for landing at New Atlantis.
So there is a contraband system here. So land at New Atlantis. So where is New Atlantis? Is there? Oh wow, the St. Louis Arch. So that's what Earth looks like right now, huh? Or St. Louis. I love that city. Yeah, I'm anxious to see if we start getting frame rate dips and that sort of stuff. This is probably a main city. Probably lots more sprites walking around and that sort of stuff, so...
Let me guess. Protocol Indigo again?
Okay, so I need to talk to him.
And he's your new captain. My crew can take a look at your ship. And you can stop by the Trade Authority kiosk if you need to offload some cargo.
Okay, so introducing you to the ship repair mechanic. I don't think I took any damage, did I?
Nothing for us to do. You're
Okay.
in good flying condition.
So I didn't. That's probably something I wish it wouldn't do. I wish it would not give you this option if you didn't need repairs. So you can view and modify your ships here.
Sure, have at it.
Okay, so this is going to get into the shipbuilding mechanic. We're obviously not going to do that today. We've only got 15 minutes left in the stream here. But this is certainly something that we will look more at. Because I'm guessing through upgrading the ship here. Yeah, so you have different weapons and systems that you can upgrade here. From your reactor, your power plant, your grav drive, shield generator, engines, weapons. Okay. So that all makes sense. Being able to go through upgrades and that sort of stuff. So there's also a ship builder here. So yes, I can modify this. Each individual system at a time. Okay, so again, going to get much more into that later on. Looks like you can also buy ships here.
I'm sure you can find something you like.
Okay. So, I've got 3,000 credits. I would seriously doubt I'm going to be able to afford any of these. Yeah. 57,000. They sell 4 ships here. Okay. And it's good that you can see the pluses and minuses compared to the ship that you currently have. That's a good thing to be able to see. Oh, okay. So it's also highlighting your system. So the electron beam is 812 credits by itself. Okay. The whole ship is 133. Okay. That one's pretty nice. Yeah, shield breaker, got a lot of laser capability, a lot of engine and shields. But yeah, 279,000 credits. So, nowhere near it. So, he did say that you had...
Here. I'll be at my booth if you need me.
Is that what this is? Yeah, the Trade Authority kiosk. Okay. So, you can sell items right out of here. So, looks like the personal slates are 0 mass. So you don't really have to sell those off unless you want to. But yeah, you can sell off. Okay. So yeah, fairly standard. Why I still have an impact driver, I have no idea. Fairly standard stuff. And then, oh, so you can, down here at the bottom, sell from the ship inventory. That's a really good thing to have. Yeah, because now I can sell all of these extras. Whoops, didn't mean to sell that. But I can sell all of those all at once. Can sell both rescue axes, and now that I should have is there a buyback option? There is. For one of the Grendels. Okay. So yeah, having that, so I guess cycling through Q goes to buy, sell from ship inventory. So that could be very, very nice. Being able to store things in your ship and sell off all the extras that you have. Okay, so I'm just going to keep my deep mining gear here. Just in case. Okay. So, interesting. So that's a great mechanic to have. You can immediately, store a bunch of stuff in your ship, and then immediately, as soon as you get off your ship at the landing pad, you can sell here and sell your items as well as anything that's in your cargo. So that's a great mechanic to have. That's something I wish a lot more games had. So we're just going to make our way a little bit through here. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time exploring all this.
Go unanswered. We'll get you settled and take you to as soon as possible.
But my assumption's also, do they have just normal people walking around? Yeah. So Citizen, you can probably interact with them, but you're probably not going to get quests and that sort of stuff from them. But these people with names,
We'll just...
Helena Chambers, ID SSCOM.
that might be, there might be a quest opportunity talking to people here and that sort of stuff.
I'll need to report to Mast ASAP for a full debrief. My treatment thus far has been entirely...
Oh, and she's got vitiligo here. Interesting, they've even implemented that in the character creation.
And you failed to initiate proper evacuation protocols. Thank you for your service. We'll find you a new position commensurate with your experience. And Mr. Bosch, let me just say how honored I am to meet you. By all accounts...
Well, it's interesting here. I'm not going to bore you by sitting around watching a bunch of conversations, even though I probably should. I'll do it in my personal playthrough, and then we'll come back, have some conversations with everybody else. But for now, just want to get to where the quest marker's taking me, and then we should be able to end today's live stream at that point. Okay, so just walking around, you can hear conversations that are going to activate quests. That's very similar to Skyrim as well. So just listening to conversations that normal citizens might have can also bring in quests. So it looks like it wants to take us to a fast travel system here of some sort.
This is New Atlantis Transit, or the NAT. It provides free transportation throughout the city. We can take it directly to the Mast District.
Okay. Oh, and it has the quest marker above where you want to go. Very good. My traits, I believe I took introvert, UC citizen or whatever it was, and I can't remember what my third one was, honestly. So sitting here at the, yeah, and see, now I'm getting a little bit of frame rate stuttering here. And I am operating this, I believe. Yeah, everything's as high as it goes here. So being able to drop that down a little bit, I'll see. I'm also interested to see how the frame rates work. So I'm not going to adjust it right now.
For most of its power.
But yeah, you can see I am getting a little bit of a frame rate dip here. So I'm probably down more around the 35 to 40 frames a second now, as opposed to the 60 that you guys won't be seeing that probably anyway, but I'm certainly seeing it here. Okay, and this looks to be the constellation place I'm supposed to go.
Here we are, the lodge.
Yes.
The front door should unlock if you hold up the watch that Barrett gave you. I have messaged the other members of Constellation. They will be waiting for us inside.
Okay, so I think what we're going to do, this is probably going to start up a much bigger introduction type scene here once we go in here and meet up with the other Constellation members. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to end the live stream just a couple of minutes early today, but not very much. So that was our first introduction to Starfield. And I don't know as if Starfield is going to become a long-term live stream or not. We'll kind of see how it goes. But for now, the Starfield live stream is going to be Wednesday evenings. I'm going to put up the new streaming schedule because the NFL football season starting here next week. I'm going to have 2 live streams on Saturday, and that means that I can't do Starfield here at this time because I'll be doing another one of my Baldur's Gate 3 live streams that I normally do. I'm just at a slightly different time here. So this is going to have to move to during the middle of the week, and I know that's going to be a pain for my overseas viewers, and I apologize that you probably won't be able to join me for that stream because it's going to be late at night for you. It won't start until 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time, which is Greenwich Mean Time -5, so it's going to be late, midnight or so by the time it starts. So I understand I'm not going to be able to live stream in front of you guys for doing this, but the videos will still be there afterwards, and I'll still have chapter markers on them so you can follow along as we're going. And then once NFL season ends, if the Starfield live stream is still going, then we'll move it back to a Saturday time, and we'll have 2 live streams on Saturdays and 1 on Sundays. So just kind of give you a heads up, pay attention to the community tab and the posts that I'm going to put up to know what the upcoming streams are and when they're going to be. So if we have any changes with that, oh, interesting. So if you're idle, it starts to go into a third-person view, just like Skyrim used to. So as we go along, and I need to make adjustments to those times during the football season here, we'll just pay attention to that, and I'll make announcements as we go. So I think we're going to go ahead and call it there. So again, thank you everybody for showing up today. It's really great to see people show up to a new live stream. I really appreciate everyone being here. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining me today. Without your support, none of this would be possible. This is Commander Jorval saying until next time, fare thee well.